This is Religion in the News, sponsored by Wish TV, in cooperation with the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis.
Good morning, I'm J.R. Ryder. Welcome to our June edition of Religion in the News. We have a great show for you today as our guests talk about a new TV talk show, the work of a refugee ambassador, life as an artist, an upcoming multimedia forum for youth, and the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis talks about the upcoming Centennial Gala celebrating 100 years of service to Indianapolis. Stay tuned.
Good morning, I'm Carol Sissom. My guest today is talk show host Gabby Gale. Welcome to the Religion in the News, Gabby.
Thank you.
Well, Gabby, I understand that you have an incredible vision to be a talk show host, and you have developed quite a plan. Could you please tell us about what you're doing?
Well, what I'm doing right now is each month having an example of how Gabby Gale's going to be. I do different topics, and so, but I also have a jingle with this song, and I just want people to see it's going to be a fun, prophetic, Christian talk show.
Now, where are people going to be able to watch the show?
Well, right now it's in the making. I'm just being developed, so I just want people to watch out for me, and in the future.
Can you give me an example of some of the guests that you're going to have?
Well, locally, that's what I want to expose. The first Gabby Gale I had was introducing women in entrepreneurship, like Precise Printing. I know her from years. And so I wanted to hear their inspiring story. And I want people to hear my inspiring story, how Gabby Gale became. And it started out me just talking so much. But when I was a little girl, I always felt like I was interviewing people and singing. And so I believe God's given me the opportunity to act out my heart's desire.
Now, I understand you brought today a little jingle or an example of what you're going to be doing.
Yes, and here it goes. Gabby, oh Gabby, the Gabby Gale, the Gabby Gale show. Dun, dun, dun. So I also have a little sense of humor there too.
Awesome. Now tell us about your background. What brought you to what made you want to be able to do this?
Well, the background is that, once again, I found out I talked so much, but it was a gift. And God has helped me develop that gift of the gab. But also, too, when people talk a lot, they talk about either they're hurting, they might be killing themselves, or they got a great idea like I did, which my best friend heard my much gabbing. So on my 50th birthday, she threw me a set, a jingle. And from there, I've been like working on that gift.
So this is more or less your ministry, to reach into people's hearts and bring out their stories?
That is so correct, because people need to hear other people's story. But in this show, I want to be able to minister to them as the Spirit of God leads me. Because when people are talking, they're really not really talking what's really on the heart. But sometimes by the Spirit, you'll know they're hurting. So you might want to hug them, or you might want to bring joy, give them a word of encouragement.
Now, do you have sponsors? How are you bringing this all about? If someone wanted to start their own talk show, you have to have a business plan. What are you doing to create that?
Well, right now I'm just acting out as I'm there. So I wrote everything down as a vision, what I want to do, what I want to see happen, and just act it out until I get on the show.
That's incredible. Now, if someone wants to be a guest on your show or want to talk to you about helping you, how would they get a hold of you?
Oh, wow. Gail Reeves, 317-542-1457, or email reeves.gale@yahoo.com.
Well, that's incredible. We look forward to seeing your show.
Thank you.
Back to you, Faith.
Thanks, Carol. Good morning, I'm Faith James. My guests today are Ambassadors Bianca Davis, Ruta Tesfaye, and Ellie Copeland. Welcome to the Religion and News, girls.
Thank you.
First of all, when I hear ambassador, I think of an older person. What are you guys the ambassador of?
We are the ambassadors of the refugees here in Indianapolis. Through the Catholic Charity Center, we kind of help the refugees transition from whatever country they're refuging from or to here. So.
And for our viewers at home, I mean, we hear the word refugee all the time, but, you know, Elle, tell us, what is your definition of a refugee?
A refugee is a person who, in their own country, they don't feel safe, they're being persecuted, and they have to leave for fear of their life. And so we take them in our country and we resettle them. But only about 1% of the refugees in the world actually get resettled, so the lucky ones here, we try to help.
You try to help them. So how do you try to help them?
We help them as ambassadors by welcoming them at the airport and bringing them back to like their apartment. We set up their apartment for them, and we help them. Like we cook them on Thursday, we cooked a meal for them, and we just talked to them a little, and they really like it was good to see them and help them adjust to like America.
And Bianca, what is the age range of these refugees that you're feeding and welcoming to the States?
As young as like babies to older people. Just the family we were helping this past Thursday, they were older. They had a 22-year-old son, and the mother and father were probably in their 40s and 50s. So like it really ranges from old to young.
Okay. And Elle, how did you get involved with this program?
I saw a bulletin in the newspaper for it, and I think it was in the Catholic newspaper, and I just thought it looked really interesting, and I wanted to meet these people.
So do you all three go to the same, you're in high school, correct? Mm-hmm. Do you all three go to the same high school?
No.
What high school do you go to?
I go to Cathedral High School.
What high school do you go to?
I go to Ben Davis.
I go to Ben Davis.
Okay. So you guys are here today because you have an upcoming event. What's coming up? And we have a flyer, I think, that we can display.
Upcoming June 20th, we have the World Refugee Day dinner. World Refugee Day is an internationally recognized day established by the United Nations to just recognize refugees around the world. And we are having this dinner to kind of celebrate them and their journey here in America. And it's at Cathedral High School, actually. So upcoming the 20th in June.
And who kind of oversees this program?
Well, Helen Sanders is the
Director.
Leader. She is our mentor. She works at the Catholic Charities downtown.
And how long have you guys been a part of the program?
This year.
This year. This is our first
It's
year.
your first year? Mm-hmm. And how did you guys get in title ambassador? Is everybody an ambassador that helps out, or just
No,
you all? Okay.
It's definitely a process.
Yeah, we had to go through a process, and then we have missions that we had to do. We had to pick up refugees from the airport and help settle them in apartments because they don't have anything when they come, so we give them a place to stay and help them.
Are you guys not scared at all that anything's going to happen, or?
No, it's not really scary. These people, like, once you hear their story, if anything, it makes you want to help them even more. They've been through a lot. Like, the families we've helped, they've come from many like dangerous and harmful situations. I know this family we helped this past Thursday, their son, both of his feet were amputated. Like just stories like that, they really kind of touch your heart, and you're not scared. If anything, you're more ambitious and more anxious to help them and make them more comfortable here.
Okay, well, you guys had a very, very intriguing story today, and I want to thank you guys for being my guests. And viewers at home, please do not hesitate to go out and support. Thank you. Back to you, Carol.
Thanks, Faith. Coming up next, my guest talks about his work as an artist. You don't want to miss it when we return. Welcome back to Religion in the News. My guest today is Michael Clark. He is an artist who wears many hats. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Thank you, Carol. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes. Now, Michael, this is your second time with us.
Yes, it is.
And you have brought with you today artwork.
Yes. Yeah. This time it's art.
Because you're an artist. But I know you as a very extremely talented guitar player, probably one of the best guitar players I've ever met.
Oh, thank you.
And you have been around the world playing as a musician, but today you're also an artist. How do you get that done?
Well, sometimes I wonder. I've got a gallery exhibit all this month in June at Funk Yard Gallery down at Fountain Square on Prospect, right, by the fountain down there. So it'll be there all month, and so that's what my education was in art, not music. So I'm kind of getting back to doing art again, and it's fun. And now the digital media is to where I can start it digitally and then finish it just the traditional way. So it's kind of a combination of both styles of kind of the art medium and the digital medium now. It's really fun for me. And I learned most of that through record production.
Right.
It kind of all ties together eventually. So.
Well, tell us about this. Now, what is this picture?
Well, that's a 1963 Corvette Stingray. The art I do is what I like. So I like cars and color and music, and also I just do what I like. And so that's my interpretation of an old Stingray that I like, and just kind of you know, it's fun for me to do that kind of thing. So, you know, it just kind of keeps me interested.
Relaxing.
Yeah, relaxing. And this one is a color field painting. A lot of my college work was in big color field, you know, big gigantic color field pictures, and so this is kind of going back to that. So, but I've got all kind of just, you know, the typical flowers and, you know, and like I say, music and whatever, all different styles of art. So it's really fun doing that. So,
Now, at the gallery, people can purchase these, or
Oh,
do they
yes.
just come to see how pretty they are, or
Well,
how does
both.
this work? How much are these?
Oh, they run anywhere from like $200 to $300 to $600 to some of the more complicated ones. So, but yeah, they're all down there. I've been 2 or 3 different galleries in the last couple of years, and so yeah, it's really different for me to see them all on the wall at once. You know, it's
Well,
kind of.
could you quickly just tell our viewers who don't know you about your music career, because you've been around the world, you're a regular on Bob and Tom, you're also a staff guitarist at what church?
At the Garden. It's a division of St. Luke's that is at Beef and Boards every Sunday morning, and it's like a multimedia church experience. And we have a live band, and it's video, and then of course they have the message. And so, you know, I produce records and play on a lot of other people's records, and I've been on John Mellencamp's albums and things like that. So it's really fun for me to get to do what I love. I think I've really been blessed to get to do music and art.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of people don't get to do what they really love to do, so I think I've been really blessed to be able to do something that my natural God-given talent, at least I get to do, you know. So it's really, really fun for me to get to do that kind of thing. So,
Awesome. And you do have an album coming out?
well, that I've produced. It's called the Fun Girls album.
And how do people get your album and
well,
get a hold of you?
It's I'm on Facebook. And my art is on Facebook at Michael Clark Art and Designs, and so, and my, you know, of course, I've got a email, and they're going to show it at the end of the show. So, but yeah, and also in this new CD, Vince Gill played guitar on it, so it's really fun for me. So.
You are a big package. You're a very talented musician, and I look forward to having you on again.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Back to you.
Thanks, Carol. Good morning, I'm J.R. Ryder. My guest today is Maria Pimentel Gannon. She's the president of the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis. Welcome back to our show.
Thank you very much, Jared. It's great to be here.
Good to have you. There are several things going on here in the month of June, actually the entire year, as the Church Federation commences on 100 years of service to Indianapolis. Tell us about some of the events throughout the year and what's taking place even this coming month.
We have a number of wonderful things scheduled for this, especially this coming week. But we've had some wonderful things that we've had throughout the year, especially in January. We had a number of universities involved in a week of lecture series earlier in January. And what is coming up then is even just as exciting, if not more, as we approach June 7th.
Absolutely. And before we get into that, there are many of our viewers are not really familiar or may not be familiar with the impact that the Federation has had on the local Indianapolis community, and not only just Indianapolis, but even the surrounding areas. But the chaplaincy programs were first implemented in our city through the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis. Race relations begun because of the Church Federation and many other things. But this coming June 7th, I believe, actually marks the official 100th year anniversary. Tell us about what takes place on that day.
That is correct. June 7th is going to be exciting. We begin with the first build. We are celebrating by having 10 homes. That is our hope and our dream, to have 10 homes built throughout the year, one for each decade. And June 7th is the building, the dedication of the first Habitat build. Then later on in the evening at 6 o'clock, and tickets are still available, we have our big gala, and that is our big celebration for our 100th year, and it falls on the actual anniversary.
The actual anniversary date, that's exciting. Now, let me go back to the Habitat just for a moment. That is similar to a Habitat for Humanity, where you actually go into a community and it's hands-on to help build an actual home.
That is correct. And we're partnering with Habitat, with Lily, and with the churches and the Martindale-Brightwood area. And so on that day, we will have the very first home, and we've had different churches or groups or organizations sponsor the homes, so the very first one will be dedicated that morning.
Now, that evening, you have the great banquet, the great gala celebration, and that's going to be, I'm sure, just a power-packed evening. Corporations and individuals can still get tickets even now to that, and that's June 7th at 6 p.m.
Yes.
And that's going to be at the Indiana Roof Ballroom.
That is correct.
Downtown on Washington.
Yes.
What other events do you have coming up this year during the centennial celebrations?
We also have produced a book, and that book will be dedicated on Saturday, and we're going to have it's the dedication of the history publication. That would be Saturday at the Indianapolis Historical Society. Then the next day on Sunday, we're going to have what's called our Sacred Walk tour, and we will have 3 locations. And we will have a tour of all the downtown areas, the churches that were here, that were part of the Federation 100 years ago, in addition to churches that were in existence, that are in existence and were then, may not have been a part of the Church Federation, but have been here in the Indianapolis history for a long time.
Exciting. And on behalf of Religion in the News, many people don't know that you're our sponsor for this program, so I'm looking forward to seeing you, of course, on June 7th at the gala. Maria, we really appreciate you taking your time to be our guest today on the program, and the rest of this year we just hope is a major success.
Thank you very much. Please do keep us in your prayers. We're looking forward to a good celebration.
Absolutely. Thank you again for being our guest on Religion in the News. Jeff, now to you.
Thanks, JR. Good morning, I'm Jeffrey Payne. When we return, my guest talks about a multimedia forum for youth. Stay tuned.